What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever TKB Podcast. The podcast is a way for us to really discuss with people of influence how to get to where they are. So today, it's an honor to have our first ever guest, Demas.
What's up?
Nice, great to meet you.
Hey.
So yeah, Demas, for people that haven't seen your work before, tell us a bit about yourself.
So I am a full-time architect. I work in an architecture firm called FJMT Studio, and I also take lots of photos and post them on Instagram. And my Instagram handle is @Demas Rusli, which is my name.
Plugging his own thing within a minute of this video.
You asked for it.
Yeah, I know, true, eh?
All
All right.
What I'm gonna do.
So, as an Asian Australian, were you born in Australia?
No, I was not born in Australia.
Okay.
I was born in Jakarta, Indonesia, and I came to Sydney when I was 7 years old.
All right.
Mhm.
So, in terms of, what was a big difference when you first came to Australia? Because obviously for me, I moved to Australia when I was 5. Didn't really have any legit friends because I hadn't started primary school. But for you, I think at 7,
Yep.
you would have had the chance to make some friends.
Not really either.
No?
No.
All right. So, coming here, what was the rationale behind, say, your family's decision to come to Australia?
There was a kind of pretty big political riot in Jakarta at the time. And so we just decided to just come to Australia on a holiday, like a 2-week holiday. And then randomly on that holiday, my mum enrolled us into a school. And we got in and we stayed for 6 months. So
Stayed in Sydney for 6 months?
Yeah, before going back. So we only had clothes for like 2 weeks. Like, we didn't expect anything. We were just staying in an apartment kind of thing.
So you're just saying you were actually coming to Australia for, say, like a holiday?
Yes, a 2-week holiday.
To escape from the political problems?
Yep.
And you ended up staying here for like 20 years?
Yes, pretty much.
All right.
And we stayed, and it's been pretty good. I don't regret it one bit.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So, tell us about kind of your whole upbringing in Australia, like in terms of your education, what you were involved in growing up.
So I came to Sydney when I was 7 and started school here, and I didn't know how to speak English very well, so I had to learn.
Did you take ESL?
I think I did, but I just had to learn it as I go. But I think the younger you are, the easier you are to learn.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just took it as I go, and I started like randomly sometimes speaking Indonesian to people in the classroom, and just kept on going. And in terms of sport, I played soccer throughout the whole of primary school. That's it, I guess. And I was like, and then I was school captain in year 6.
What about basketball?
I started that in year 7.
Oh.
Yeah, I never played basketball until year 7.
Same.
Yeah, when I was in the 80s.
So I guess we're kind of the same, right?
Yes, we're all the same, all of us in this room.
Asian.
But say, when you're growing up as Asians, there's this kind of stereotype that your parents kind of push you towards academics.
Yes, for sure.
Putting it as the emphasis, whereas you were really all-rounded as an individual. Is that just something that was a product of the environment, or your parents weren't like that kind of type to really push you towards academics and achieving high grades?
Oh, my parents definitely pushed me for academics, and they didn't, to be honest, I don't think they cared if I played sport or not. But I think it was just like an interest that like came about. Like in year 7, I started playing basketball and I loved it so much. I asked my mum to buy me a hoop at home, and we didn't have room, so we donated it to a school across the street. It's like a kindergarten to year 2 school. And we talked to the principal and they agreed, and we donated him, and I played there every day. And then got into the NBA and watching it, and just the interest kind of kept growing. But at the same time, like, I didn't really compromise my schooling and my education.
So it wasn't really a case of, I'm really going to invest heaps of time into, say, sport or extracurricular activities. It was just that you organize your time so that you could kind of devote yourself equally to both of them.
For sure, but I think, for example, if my parents didn't push me as hard in academic, I'd probably like play more basketball. You know what I mean? So
You'd be in the NBA by now.
Yeah, for sure. that's what would have happened.
You'd be like Jeremy Lin.
No way. But yes, maybe that could have happened, Kelvin.
Yeah, I mean,
imagine.
You never know, man.
And
that's all the parents
we'd
out
have to
there.
pay him for coming on this show.
You are paying me, right?
Yeah, paying big bucks, man.
Demas, why are you an architect instead of a doctor?
That's a good question, actually. My mum wanted me to be an actuarial, she wanted me to do actuarial studies at uni. So to do with maths and
numbers
and statistics and everything, but because I was pretty good at maths at school. But I don't know why, ever since I was like 9 years old, like year 3, I wanted to be an architect.
Where does that come from?
My uncle in Indonesia is an architect, and he kind of renovated our house in Indonesia, and I was like watching him work and seeing him with the floor plans and everything. I was really excited, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, I want to do something like this. But going into like uni, I never knew what to expect. Like I didn't know what architecture was. I didn't know what anything was. I just knew I wanted to be an architect.
Amazing.
So I just went for it and actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, it was kind of a risk, but yeah.
So from a young age, you always wanted to design and create. Was that?
I didn't even know what architecture was. So I just like knew the word. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. But like as soon as I kind of developed like doing projects at uni, I just enjoyed it, and designing and learning how to design and everything is good. Yeah.
It's in your blood.
Well, yeah, maybe it's just like I'm too stubborn to change or something. I don't know. Maybe.
As an architectural graduate, if people are trying to get into that industry at university, what would you try to recommend for them to do? Like, what are the 3 tips for anyone aspiring to become an architect?
I don't know. Well, in terms of like subjects to do at school.
Yeah, let's say you're in high school right now, and they've kind of predetermined a plan. They want to do architecture at university, like you did. What are some subjects? Like, for me, none of the subjects I did at school were really relevant.
Same with me.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't think if I did DT or visual art at school, I don't think it would have helped either. For me, it was just about getting the best marks that I could, doing the best subjects to get into that course.
Yeah.
Because a lot of stuff you learn in high school didn't really apply, right? Like to uni, especially like you did interior. There's nothing you did. Did you do anything at school that applied?
I think art is it helps you express, you know, and release your creativity. But like you said, I mean, if you're inherently going to become like an architect, you know, you've got it. Like you're creative. You know, it's something that people just are instead of like doing a course.
Yeah, it's not like a switch. It's like it's born into you, eh?
Yeah, but it took me a while to adjust as well. Like the first year or 2 of architecture, I was still like, what is this? What am I doing? Like, why am I doing all-nighters for no reason? After a while, you kind of realize like, this is actually pretty fun. Like you get to design something that like could make the environment better. People have a better time somewhere, you know? So yeah, that's why I like architecture.
Just how hard is it, Demas, to do architecture and to be an architect?
I always say it's not that hard. It's just the amount of hours you put into it. Like the amount of effort you put into it always comes out in the end. So like you can have the most simple design, but if you put, you know, so many hours working on it and everyone can see it and it's like, you know, there's lots of thinking behind it, then it's always going to work out in the end. But yeah, that's a lot of hours though. Like I didn't sleep a lot and I still don't sleep now, but it's just a habit that has grown inside of me.
What do you find pushes you when you're, you know, in those late hours?
I think
pay.
friends. Nah, not pay. We were just
Moolah.
architects don't get paid that much at all. Like to be honest.
Yeah.
Not at all. Unless you're like some huge famous one, like some star architect, you know.
Zaha Hadid.
Yeah, who's sadly passed away.
Yes.
And like Bjarke Ingels or something, you know, like they're really big and they're obviously famous. Yeah. But it wasn't the cash. It was like just like friendship, you know. Like I did my projects at uni, and we were all together doing it together, and we always kind of like push each other. So like I think it's all about collaboration in the end. Like I still collaborate now in terms of photography, and it's all about collaboration with people.
So in terms of that collaboration stuff, so obviously during group projects you got to assign different responsibilities to each other as part of assignments and things like that. Then you enter, say, the graduate world. You work at what, FMJT?
FJMT.
Not bad. FJMT.
What was that, sorry?
FJMT, bro. So working at like an actual firm, the experience of being an architect completely different to what you expected because of the course that you did at university?
I think so, because you don't get to be as creative at work. It's like it's sort of some like my boss's vision in a way, right? But at the same time, I still get to input, and it's like the designs that we create are also really good. So I'm happy working there, and it's been good so far for the past 2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know your whole Instagram and social media is based heavily on architectural shots and content creation of urban landscape.
Yep.
So does that tie into what you're doing as a profession? Like, is that how you got started?
Not really. It's completely unrelated. So I picked up my first SLR camera when I was helping my cousin, who's a photographer. So I was helping him. He's from Indonesia. He came to Sydney to do a pre-wed photo shoot.
Yeah.
And he asked me to be an assistant, so hold the flash and help him change lenses and stuff. And we went to the Snowy Mountains, and it was like the most epic place and location. And I watched him work, and I really enjoyed what he was doing. So I was like, I want to try it out and see what happens. So that day, I started taking photos with my phone, and then the week after that, I bought my first SLR and literally just started taking photos of anything. Like, it could be like a chair or whatever, like anything. And slowly over time, you kind of develop what you like to take photos of and what you don't like to take photos of. Like, for example, and then at the same time, I was doing architecture, right? So at the same time, I was like trying to shoot good architecture photos. And then I'm in the city, so like you want to try to take landscape, urban photography. So that's sort of what pushed me to where I am today. So if you tell me to take a portrait or something, I struggle. If you tell me to take, food photography, I struggle. It's different. But yeah.
How did you find your style?
I guess just like looking at people that I like on Instagram, and so like trying to mimic them and trying to make my photos different to them, or like similar but my own style kind of thing. You need to develop that. Sometimes I still copy people, which is fine, but you just have to like
put your own twist.
Yeah, exactly. Try to put your own twist to things.
This day and age in social media, no one actually creates something brand new. It's always an innovation of something that already exists.
Anything, not just social media, even like architecture, everything.
Yeah, for real. It's just based off past inspirations. You started doing just hobby stuff. Was there a switch in your mind where I thought, I'm going to try to actually build like a following, I'm going to build a brand, a personal brand of this?
Even till now, like, it's never been about building an Instagram account. Like, it's always been about the passion of photography. I started my Instagram account the moment I bought my SLR, and I just started posting photos very consistently, being really active and like trying to just get my work out there. Expect my Instagram to grow like to where it is today. I just kept posting and sort of grew slowly, and then the thing that kind of pushed it over the edge was when Instagram followed me for 2 weeks. So in that time, I went from 2,000, 3,000 followers to 15,000 in 2 weeks because Instagram followed me. And I was on a special list, like, you know how you're on the Instagram feed and you go to the following list? Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
And so...
They don't do that anymore?
Not... So they used to change it every 2 weeks, but now they've just kept it constant for a while now. And so if you're on there right now, it's pretty lucky that you're on there.
Because you're always on there.
Yeah. And you're always going to be growing. I had a friend who was on there and he just recently got taken off, but he doesn't know why. He's just super random. He's starting to sort of drop because then
he's not relevant anymore on Instagram.
As in Instagram just unfollowed. His stuff is still great, but it's just like there's no more like Instagram helping him. So that happened to me and grew to 15,000, and then at the same time my likes and engagement remained the same, which is really weird. Because
so you ended up getting more followers, but no one was actually engaging with your content.
So like at 2,000, 3,000 followers, I was getting 200, 300 likes.
Yeah.
But when I was on 15,000, I was getting the same.
Yeah.
And I was really weirded out. I'm like, what's happening? It's because like the people that follow you on that, when you're on that list, is also like all newcomers to Instagram. Don't really know that they should engage or how they use the app. And then I started seeing these things on Instagram called Instameets, which is like a meetup where like-minded people come and anyone can go. Even if you don't have an Instagram account, you can still go.
These Instameets happen across all different industries, eh?
Yeah. All over the world as well now. Yeah, I went to my first one and started meeting lots of people in the community, and then I kind of just grew from there. So like once you start like taking photos with one person, they tag you and we tag them, and it's sort of like a collaboration. You all help grow each other. I met some of my best friends through Instagram.
But anyone that's starting to get into social media, like even ourselves, the best way to kind of grow yourself is to cross-pollinate by getting your audiences engaged with other people.
Yes, but at the same time, you don't want to force that as well.
Yeah.
So like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, you kind of just have to keep pursuing it by putting good content. If you have good content, like that's the key. If you have good content, you're always going to find people that are going to latch on and keep following you. Yeah, a lot of people ask like, how do I grow? Like it's not about like growth, it's about the content.
So that's a key takeaway. So think about the content first.
Yeah,
and then the followers will come. It's just a
don't worry about don't worry about the followers. And like a lot of people starting out are like, how do I get to 70,000 followers? You know, like it's really not about that. And it's hard for me sometimes to say it because you don't want to discourage them. You want to be encouraging to people starting out, but it's sometimes hard to just be like, just keep shooting.
When was a stage where you kind of thought, all right, I'm going to use this as a legitimate side hobby where I can make some income off of it, and then start to incorporate like analytics and all sorts of strategy into your feed, things like that?
Yeah, so after about like when I reached 25 to 30k, brands started to hit me up. I didn't know this would happen, but like I just have I didn't even have an email address, so somehow someone found it. And the first thing that I did for a brand was Adidas. They just found my photos and they loved it, and they're like, oh, we have an NMD campaign, do you want to shoot it? And at the first time I did it just for the product, I didn't even do it for money. So I took it and tried to take good photos of it and post it and promote the product, and it kept going. Like started from the NMD campaign and it kept going to like, other Adidas campaigns, other Nike campaigns and shoe campaigns, and then there was like Oreo, like really random stuff like that snowballed. It kind of grew from just being products to companies sort of realizing now that there's actually a lot of value in social media, and so they have a budget now and they actually ask me what my rates are. So it's kind of grown from being a 25, 30k getting product to now being 7k and actually
getting income from it.
Yeah, like it's like my recent collaboration was with Samsung. I'm still with Samsung at the moment, and they've been really supportive of what I do, and so it's been really good.
How important in terms of these campaigns, did they really lift your growth up?
Like my growth in terms of Instagram? Not really. I think it's just like it shows people, my followers, that I'm actually being active, and I'm like brands that want to collaborate with me. Unless you get featured somewhere huge, you're not gonna grow that much, to be honest.
So it's about relevance, essentially.
Yeah, so sometimes, like for example, a Nike campaign, right? If it's a shoe that's been released, or not even released yet, and I post a photo of it like a day before the release date, feeds like Hypebeast or High Snowbody might pick that up, and they might feature that if they like my photo. And so from there, I grow a lot. It's to do with the features and getting noticed by the bigger feature accounts. That's how you kind of grow.
When you're dealing as a content creator, when you're dealing with brands, there's always kind of, the negotiation that goes on between brand and content creator. How do you ensure you actually get the best value for yourself?
So like I said, like some of my best friends are all like in this with me together. I always like chat to them and say, would you guys do this for this rate? Or like, what do you think of this deal that this guy's offering me? Have this sort of collaboration. Sometimes my friend is also on that campaign, so we kind of like can share together like what we want to charge them, or at the same time you don't want to charge too much so that the brand is turned off by you. You want to charge a good amount that you're happy with, but the brand is also happy to pay, so everyone's happy, like you kind of want to keep everyone happy. In
terms of all the campaigns you've done, you've worked with multiple brands, what has been probably the most memorable campaign that you've been a part of?
This year in March I did the Month of Max campaign for Nike. So every year it's the Month of Max, and it's because the Air Max shoes got released in March, and that was a big one. Like it was a full month campaign, and they got me to shoot like 20 to 30 photos of 4 different types of shoes and post 4 of my best ones, and some of that work was also put on like the Hype shop window in the city, so that was really cool to see my work like to be like displayed and exhibited on a shop window. But it was awesome, like just to get support from like a brand like Nike is like insane. So that's probably like the most memorable thing in terms of campaign for me.
Yeah. And in terms of like campaigns, right, you don't have to spend the time to not only shoot the product but also edit the product, but you're working full time as an architect. It's all about prioritizing what you need to do.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? Like, how do you spend the time to go to work, put in a full day of work that's effective, and then head home and edit some photos, or go out and shoot?
I guess I use my photography as like a motivation tool at work. So if I'm at work and I'm really bored or doing mundane tasks, I always think like, after this I'm going to be shooting something or doing something exciting. It's kind of like, it's what excites me. And so, tonight I'll be shooting this campaign for this person, or it doesn't matter even shooting campaign. It could be like just hanging out with friends or whatever. Yeah. So, and then on the weekends as well, like if I'm, so it's always, I don't know, I just have to prioritize my time. So I can't spend too much shooting. I can't spend too much time editing. You have to use your time to the best of the ability. Like sometimes I don't sleep that much, but that's bad, but I need to change that.
Yeah. Do you schedule your projects and everything?
I don't have like a set schedule, but I have like in my head, like I kind of know this edit will take me half an hour, this edit will take me an hour, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've had some rough weeks, but I've also had some pretty chill weeks as well, so it kind of all balances out.
Have you ever, like number one, have you ever thought about converting what your hobby is into a full-time job? And number two, has there ever been times where you thought, you're starting to burn out because of photography and you're doing so much of it that you're losing its enjoyment?
Sometimes, yeah. So like maybe on a long weekend or something, I would shoot 3 days in a row and I sometimes get like, shooting so much, do something else. But at the same time, like I have thought about doing it full time. It's quite a big jump. And so like I enjoy the stability of work and like the steady income from it. And I also enjoy having a side income, you know. So if you can do both, then by all means go for it. Your work is getting like compromised, and if you're, you know, not doing a good job at work, then obviously you need to start thinking about what you want to do. But I think I'm still doing good at work. I don't know, but like if I can get the job done, right? If my boss isn't angry, and I think it's fine.
In terms of flexibility, in comparison between your job and this sort of freelance lifestyle, what's like the difference in terms of like how your hobby has allowed you to travel and meet new people and be flexible sort of thing?
So I try to use like the leave that I get from work as best as possible. So like during the Easter long weekend, it was like 4 days, right? So I took 3 days off, so I had 7 days, and we went to Hong Kong and we traveled Hong Kong for a week and met lots of cool people and like people I've never met before, but we follow each other on Instagram, and so like it's just always like that. Like whenever I go to another city, I always hit up someone I follow or someone I've met before, and they just take me around or meet up with them. It's a good way to travel because they know all the cool spots.
Yeah, you don't waste time kind of trying to figure out where you want to be going.
Exactly. Like just following someone around, but even like just meeting someone new, also a good thing, you know. Getting to know someone and how the community is in their city or in their country. It's sort of an eye-opening experience as well. Yeah,
and it's also been a bit of an initiative of yours to actually try to grow something like a community out of it, right?
Yes, so I run a page with some friends called Global Night Squad, and so we host night photography walks, photo meets, and workshops as well. And we've done 4 in Sydney, 1 in Brisbane, 1 in Melbourne, sort of like a collaboration in KL, and 1 in Hong Kong. And so we're trying to take it global because the name is Global Night Squad. Yeah, our last event was last week. We hosted an edit battle where we invited like 10 of our friends or 10 sort of influencers to come and edit live, and the public can come watch. And,
where was this?
On Monday at Waterloo.
So how do they is there like a huge screen where they can edit?
So Samsung sponsored it, so everyone had their own Samsung tablet to edit on, and they provided 3 big screens, so like 3 of us were connected to a big screen so people could watch it, and they could even watch people over their shoulder. I think it was a good event, and like people learnt a lot, and like it's a competition, so the announcement for the winner is happening tomorrow actually. Look out for that on the Global Night Squad page. But yeah, so it's been awesome, like building a community. Like in Sydney, our last event reached 250 people. We always host our events on Friday nights, and we just promote it on our own Instagram, and that's about it. And so people see it and they want to meet like-minded people, and exactly like how I came to be where I am. Exactly right. It's going to my first Insta meet. It's like every single time we do one, there's always new people that come to Insta meets, and this friend who came to the last one brings a new friend, and it's like the community just keeps growing. It's like 250 people coming to walking around Chinatown. It's like nuts, man. Like
Put a non-Asian people in Chinatown.
So it was nuts. Last time, actually, the last one was in Barangaroo. So we all walked through that Wynyard Tunnel, 250 people on a Friday night.
That would be nuts.
And so many like business people were like, "What is happening?" Like so many people with cameras. They're all like, But yeah, it was good fun, and it's good to be part of this community and to grow it and to meet new people as well. If you can meet cool people and talented people along the way, it's it's awesome. Yeah.
Where do you think the top photographers are coming out of majorly?
Oh, it's probably America and Asia. So Instagram started in America, so like the big accounts, the huge accounts, are always in America because they have a lot of the active users, and Asian people also love Instagram, and so basically the whole Asia uses Instagram. Like Indonesia, there's like so many people are influencers in Indonesia, to the point where like someone with, let's say, my sort of level of engagement would have like triple the amount of followers. There's just that much more population. But in terms of content and stuff I like to enjoy, I love seeing like Shanghai, Hong Kong.
See a lot of the ones where they're on the rooftops as well, when you look over the skylines of Shanghai and stuff like that. That is so dope. Yeah,
I love those people, and their photos are crazy, and it's awesome. It's like, I don't know if I'll ever do that, but I just like seeing it.
Why do you think it's so much bigger over there instead of in Australia?
And I don't know. Maybe it's because we're sort of behind a little bit on technology.
As always, with everything, man.
Like, maybe we're so far away from the world as well. Like, everyone...
In what way do you think we're behind on technology?
National Broadband Network, bro.
Maybe, yeah.
TPT or whatever it's called.
Everyone's on their phones, right, in Japan. I mean, everyone's on their phones here too, but...
It's not the same. There's levels.
Do you think it's a cultural thing?
I think so, definitely. Like, Asians are always into their phones and technology.
And we're always innovators.
Yeah, I don't know. We just enjoy, looking at a screen, I guess. Like, we're all big nerds.
Let's say someone was viewing this podcast right now and they're like, oh, I want to get into photography. I want to start growing my own personal brand, and hopefully one day get to the level that you are at. If you had to give them, some genuine advice or just little tips and tricks as to how to get started and try to build momentum, because momentum is a huge thing in Instagram, isn't it?
For sure.
So what would you tell them?
Shoot everything, find your passion, create good content, and be active and consistent. By active, I mean like a lot of photos, comment on a lot of photos, like get your account noticed by people. But don't be annoying about it. If you like something, just comment and be like, hey, this is awesome. Don't do it on a photo that you actually hate, but do it on photos you like. And build relationships with people. Yeah, that's how you do it. But at the same time, also find your niche. For me, I shoot everything. But my theme is pretty much photography, right? I shoot from nature, landscape, sometimes shoes, sometimes
product.
Yeah, but it's photography related. So find your niche. If you like taking photos of food, do that. Like taking photos of chairs, do that. But there's accounts that there's a friend of mine who has an account just full of Lego. Like he puts Lego into different things, and it's really interesting. But at the same time, you don't want to be stuck in
boxed in.
So you want to be able to grow from that as well.
Yeah.
That would be my advice: to shoot as much as you can and find your passion.
Yeah, it's kind of like our niche as well, because we're obviously catered towards Asian Australians, and also with Wayne DJing, because DJing, it's a whole bunch of genres you can DJ about, but you end up becoming a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And you can't actually grow from that because people see you as just face value. You shoot everything, but you're not actually good at one particular thing.
Yeah, I feel sometimes that could be my downfall as well. As in because I shoot too many different things. But at the same time, I don't want to box myself in, so I'm just going to do whatever I enjoy doing.
And finally, as say, you're a content creator, I think there's a whole industry of influencer marketing. And I think there's a clear difference between a content creator and an influencer. Both can be influential, but there's different ways of going about it. What's your take on brands coming in when they're working with you? What's their objective? Are they looking for just content, or do they look to kind of generate sales through you as well?
For me, I think they're looking for content. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with being an influencer, right? You have a great look to you. People like what you do.
Yeah.
Or, if you take selfies and people love it, then why not, right? If you have an influence to promote something, then you have an opportunity to do something in the social media world. So it could be, taking selfies, or it could be taking photos of, beaches or cities, whatever. If you're good at whatever you do, that's fine.
You can be both, you're saying.
You can be both, but it depends what the brand is looking for. Brand is looking for a girl to hold some sort of makeup product in their hand, and
They're
that's
not gonna
fine.
call you, man.
Yeah, they're not gonna call me, but if they did, I would probably reject it. Right? Can't take a selfie, 'cause I'm not good looking. Yeah.
Just got DSLR. DSLR doesn't have selfie mode. Man. All right, cool. So we're gonna wrap up this podcast with a bunch of quick fire questions that we're gonna be asking every single guest. So you're gonna set the standard as to how well these guys are gonna answer from now on.
Okay.
So firstly, name your favorite Asian restaurant in Sydney.
Oh no. This is tough. I am Goreng 99 in Kingswood.
Goreng 99.
I am Goreng 99.
I am Goreng 99. That's like, oh my god, bro. Have you been, bro?
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god,
good.
that's amazing. I remember
So good
I've been
for
so
when you're
many
after the
times,
gym.
man.
It's like the best food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I am Goreng
I
99
am Goreng 99.
at Kingsford.
I
You want to stop your students, take note.
I have to rep my Indonesians.
Yes. Alright, name one thing that's unique to Asian Australians.
Oh man. This is actually pretty tough.
Small penis.
Oh man, this is actually a really hard question. Take off their shoes when they walk in the house. That's unique.
Alright, next one. What is your favorite anime
Oh,
and
man.
why?
I haven't watched anime in a really, really long time, but when I was a kid, I liked watching Doraemon.
Doraemon?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a cute little blue thing. It's just an interesting show.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that, but it was a good show.
Yeah.
I like watching that. when I was a kid.
Alright. At karaoke, what is your go-to song?
I don't sing.
You don't sing?
I just sit there and watch.
Alright.
I'm a boring karaoke guy.
What is the most stereotypical karaoke song for an Asian Australian?
No. Actually, I haven't been to karaoke in a long time. New York song with Alicia Keys and Jay-Z. I don't know. People seem to sing that one a lot.
Empire State of Mind. Alright. I can't say I've heard that one in karaoke too many times, but yeah, it comes up once
I
in a
don't go
while.
very often, so I don't know.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having you on the podcast today. It's been an honor, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, if people want to find you on social media, where can they go?
My Instagram handle is @Demas Rusli.
Yep.
And yeah, that's about it. You can find me there.
Awesome.
And you can find other stuff from me from that one link.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like this podcast, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll come at you with more. Peace.